Okay, good afternoon all. Hope everyone is well. It is the 17th of April. So what are we seeing? At least we've got a little bit of volume overnight. It's usually a bit quiet in this, but so what's going on today? Let me have a look. Been sideways all yesterday, and we sort of started off the same way. I've put that line there because there's a little bit of support there, and it did bounce off that. There is a trade I would have taken, but I didn't get to the chart until 2 o'clock, which was that one there, the higher low. We got a channel up there, 2 legs down, a retest of this bottom line, then off we went above the EMA. So that one I would have taken. But we've continued up, broken the new high. So it's hard to know what's going to go on now, but at least we're getting some sort of movement. So that's something. Okay, so market is due to open in about 2 minutes. Have we got anybody in yet? Let me have a look. Okay, there is some in. Anybody saying hello yet? I was going to say something now. I can't remember what it was. It'll come to me. Chris, how you doing, buddy? Okay, so let's have a look at crypto. What's that doing at the moment? Bitcoin is struggling at the moment, isn't it? We got the Bitcoin halving on Saturday, so I believe it's Saturday, so I'd be interested to see what happens to price then. What are we doing? Market's due open in just under a minute. That ATR's a bit high at the moment. I want it to slow down a little bit before I think about taking a trade. So we've had the channel, 2-leg correction, retest and a break of the new highs. So now what are we doing? Are we coming back? Clearly struggling a little bit there. So are we getting a couple of legs back? We're going to go up higher. Looking on that daily, we're looking like we're getting a bit of a bounce there. So there is some support along there. So whether that's just a little bit of a pullback or not, I don't know. But we could bounce. It's a fair drop, that really. What's it come down about 220 points, something like that. So be interested to see if we do get a bounce there. We could potentially go a lot higher. But it's hard to say. Let's see how we get on anyway. So Speedy, how you doing, buddy? So there is some congestion there. I'm not sure whether it's going to continue higher or come back down. So much of our week now just ends up sideways, so you just get that used to it coming back down, don't you? It would be nice for it to continue on up just for once. Okay, market is open. Is this a fail breakout? Are we going to push higher? It's hard to say at the moment. Most breakouts fail. But this just could be just ranging. That's what it seems to do so much of the time. And if we look up here, we've got, well, you can see, can't we, yesterday? Are we just going to get another version, a prolonged version of yesterday? It's hard to say, isn't it? So what happened yesterday? Was there some setups later on? I can't remember now. So is this just a range? I think it might be. So little channel with a break. We've got a triple bottom there. So is that going to mean anything? It's hard to say, isn't it? It's come down too far for an extended channel, I think, or has it? Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. We've touched that bottom 5 times. Are we now going to push back up? So leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go. We're going to break above that stop. Here we are. So are we pushing up now? Or are we just retesting this underside? Possible second entry short. Are we just retesting this underline? On that ATR to drop a little bit, we may be getting a triple test. There's one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. Okay, try go. Maybe there's a higher low there. Leg and a leg.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Oh, bounced off my order. Come
Order
on,
filled.
there we go. Beautiful. Okay, leg and a leg. I like that. We've come down. We've tested this, so good. Excellent. Just get rid of that. We've got. Let me just mark it up first. So we've got a channel down there with a break. We've got one leg, two legs broken above that nice bullish bar. There's a failure there, and it's dropped down. So I like that. And on the NQ, same again. We've got two attempts to go higher there, and we've come down below the EMA. We've come back and retested this line, and there's a nice bearish bar there, which looks to me like we're going to have a couple of legs down. I think we have, so I like that for a short. Quite quick moving, but so we've got a leg and a leg. I like that one. Anybody else take that incidentally? Quick 2 points. So one leg, two leg. So I'll call that a failed breakout and two legs up. Failed breakout. Plus. So 2 legs down and a higher low there. Are we going up? I think we may just be retesting this area, so I'm staying out of that one. Is it going to work? Possibly. So it looks like that high low may get trapped. It might be okay, actually. There is a failure there, second entry short failure. I'm just not sure this because on the NQ it looks like we're just testing this line here. Let me just have a look at this. Just going to put that there. So we got a couple of touches from yesterday, and it's used a support and resistance there. We're struggling to get above it, so I think it may struggle there. So that may get stopped out. So second entry short, let's have a look. We haven't quite stopped it out yet, but I feel like we may do. We're struggling there on the NQ. Ooh, skin of the teeth, I think. I think that might be okay. Although we are going sideways again. So, failed second entry short, which is triggered. I'm still not sure about going into this because of this. This to me looks like maybe a triple test. I'm not even going short there, to be fair. There's no room to the lows. It's probably going to come down. We're struggling to get above this on the NQ. So the NQ looks to me like it's likely to come down. It's certainly come down to this top line. So going short there for me is just a bit risky. There's a lot of support there. So I'm staying out of it. Anybody had any trades yet this morning? You're not a very talkative bunch this morning. So where did I get out of that? So I got out of that. Oh, plenty. There was plenty more left. So far, did it come down for another 4.5 points? Yeah, so plenty. Quick 2 points, and I got in on a limit order, so I got in a few ticks earlier anyway. So 2 points will do, mate. You're in this one. In that short there, I think you're going to be right there, mate. We're clearly finding resistance there. You've certainly got 2 points there already, haven't you? The trouble is, what I find sometimes is, yeah, you're laughing there, mate. What I find sometimes is just after I take it a trade, sometimes you can get the juices flowing a bit, don't you? And sometimes, which is why you don't see me getting another trade straight after. I tend to allow myself to sort of calm down a bit, you know, because Chad just got 2 points off the bigger, looks to me, off the what? Bigger. Some odd reason, if I bring this in, there's your comment. You see there's a bloody love art there. It's just some little icons there over the last word, so I've got to wait for it to pop up before I say that. I haven't specifically put that love art there for you, Chad, so don't get stressed. But for some reason, I don't know why that's there, but I can't see the last word. So, bigger something, bigger detail. Okay, downtrend, yeah. You got a bigger downtrend, yeah, there may be actually. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'll go with that. Absolutely. Well spotted, me old mate. Oh, it fits lovely. Okay, so yeah, that was a nice trade in that case, wasn't it? Lower high. taking all them stops out. So same again, yeah. So that one off the key entry point, we got a touch. Yeah, I didn't say that one. So at least that was an all right trade. Anyway, it was a fell breakout, clear 2 legs up, and that worked nice. If I'd have had that downtrend there, that one not so sure. Trouble is that's a bloody big bar, isn't it? That's the trouble. Tick below, tick above. It's not that big. It's about 3.5 points. That's as much as I like, actually. So yeah, I'd have gone for that one. We got 1, 2, 3 touches here. Red bars coming straight off there and then down. So fantastic. So leg. Is this just 2 legs down and a retest before we push higher? You know what? It may be. We've come right to the bottom there, and we haven't there. So I'd expect a break as we've had. That's a bit of an unusual pattern, that, isn't it? At least we're getting some movement, aren't we? A little bit of this. There was, to be honest with you, the market opened it here, so there was quite a reasonable amount of price action, wasn't there? Probably because it's flowing. We haven't really had any choppy areas. I mean, I wouldn't even call that choppy area. It's just a leg down and a leg down and a retest, and off we go. So are we just retesting a top? Let me have a look. What's the NQ looking like? So touch, breakout. New low by a few ticks. So now what are we doing? Yeah, I like that one. It's a failed second entry short, nice big bullish bar. It's going to have some longs in there. When it broke below there, where would you have your stop there? Some may have it there. We had a good sharp push down there of about 3 points. So yeah, leg and a leg, trapping some longs. That was all right, that, I think. Let's just put our tops. Some kind of bearish area there. I'd like to push below the EMA and give us a low of high first. I'm not interested in that. You just don't know whether it's going to trigger you and push up and get a bit higher. But if we can push through the EMA and come back and give us a lower high, then I may look at a short there. Blue collar tech, how you doing, bud? Took that lower high just now on my PA account, lower high. That one there, not that one there, surely no. What about the further one back? Made real money for first. Okay, so lower high. It would have been that one then, wouldn't it? I'm assuming. Yeah, I like that. I'd have taken that myself. I thought the risk was a bit bigger. It was actually only 3.5 points a tick below, but that worked a treat. To be honest with you, I hadn't had. Who was it mentioned? Was it Chad mentioned that bigger downtrend? Yeah. If I'd have had that downtrend, I'd have 100% taken that. But I didn't. I missed it. And that went down for 3 points. So I suppose most of you were a 1.5, 2 points, something like that. So yeah, nice trade. That was absolute beauty. Let's mark that up. Not only that, we came down, we pushed up, we went 1, 2, 3. So it was also a failure. And same again. trapping longs in the failure. So push up, try go low once, try go twice, failure, big bullish bar. People are going to be thinking about testing this. It triggered it, came back down, moved across, and gave us that big bearish bar. So I think it was fair. That was going to come down to the bottom here. So nicely done, mate. You made some real money. Do you know when I first started? After a month, I started trading real money. Big mistake. I can't remember what it was like, to be honest with you. So obviously at some point, I would say you go from sim to evaluation to PA, and then more than likely on to your own account, or your own account alongside the PAs, which I will probably do at some point. When I can start making it instead of blowing accounts and start to build it, then I would like to start to build my own account as well, because you could earn money from Apex, couldn't you, and then just build your own pot and just let it grow. Let it sort of grow organically in the background. Rodian, how you doing, mate? How you doing? Anybody saw Dubai on the news? Dubai had a year and a half's worth of rain in one day. There was masses of floods. That's not something you expect in the middle of a desert, is it? It was a PA. That's what I meant. Oh, gotcha. I see. Planes taking off through. I know. Crazy, isn't it? You'd never expect that in Dubai, would you? I mean, you're in the middle of a desert. But yeah, they had. Mind you, to be honest with you, when they said they had a year and a half's worth of rain, I thought that you could fit a year and a half's worth of rain in a pint glass. They seem to have that little over there, but yeah, crazy, isn't it? I mean, that was just something freaky, isn't it? That's a sort of one in every type of, what is it? Worse, well, I was going to say one in a century type event, but I think they said it was the worst rain for 75 years. But, is that about global warming, is it? I don't know, who knows? Every time we have one of these freaky type storms, they blame it on global warming, don't they? I suppose it's got to be something to do with it. Trouble is, it's like, see, in the UK, we get 3 inches of snow, the whole country comes to a standstill. You get 3 inches of snow in Canada, it's nothing, is it? It's 3 inches of snow in parts of Canada is probably a quiet day, isn't it? So they're not used to that type of weather, are they? So when they get these flash floods, they just can't deal with them. Yeah, we don't get snow like we used to. I remember snow when I was a young lad in the 80s and that. We used to get snow. I remember it coming up to me waist at some parts. My stepdad was in the army at the time. We lived up in North Yorkshire, and it was deep, and we had all the soldiers out doing all your shopping for you and all that, but we don't get any more weather like that. I suppose that's global warming as well, isn't it? But yeah, unbelievable that was. So we've clearly had a channel down here, no argument there. Is this coming down to make the new lows? I would have said so. My only slight issue is it's almost a bit rangy, isn't it? So do I really want to go short on a lower high here? My concern as well also, we've had the similar channel on the NQ, and we've already had a break in a new low, and we've come down again. So we're coming down to the open, and there is some support here. So do I really want to be going short in a lower high? You're probably not. It's come a little bit too far anyway for a lower high, I think. You really want one under here, don't you? Just under. So it's kind of gone a bit rangy as well, isn't it? There is a lower high there. It's a bit square there. Oh, mate, yeah, I'm not getting involved in that. Okay, that's just took us right down to the bottom anyway, isn't it? So is this just going to be another range day again, or are we going to range in this kind of area here? We may well do. So we've had a nice channel there, and we've made multiple attempts to go higher, and we're coming down. So that to me definitely tells me range tops there. So I suppose the next area to think about is probably here. There may be a little bit at the bottom here, but nice little channel there. Shame I missed that, actually. If you didn't take that one, in fact, that was okay. It's a little bit, but that was definitely the better trade. And that worked for 3 points. Crazy, you're in Nottingham. Less surprising than Dubai. You're Nottingham, are you? Nottingham. Nottingham, Shropshire, I am. I'm assuming you're talking Nottingham, UK, aren't you? You must be. You must be. Yeah, we're just starting to get a little bit of warmer weather now in the UK. It's not, I say warm, it's warmish. I've been out doing stuff in the garden, putting some wooden borders around and stuff like that. But I think it was the year before last we had a cracking summer, hottest temperatures on record. I think we had about 42 degrees. 4 seasons in a day, yes. Yeah, to be fair, I think it was around about, was it 0? Or is it going to be 0 tomorrow morning, 0 degrees tomorrow morning? But it's been about 17 degrees in the day, so yeah, I get what you're saying there. It is jumping around. We've had sun, we've had rain, we've had wind, warm temperatures, cold temperatures. Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it? You're a Forest fan, are you? I used to follow football. I got fed up of it in the end. Cricket I tend to follow now. Just got sick of all the trouble all the time. Are we going to get 2 legs up and a short here? I would short here if we got 2 nice legs up. There is a second entry short there, but it's a bit of a doji and it's just too far from that EMA for my liking. I would expect to come down. There's probably, it may stall a little bit around there. There is a little bit of support around that area. Well, actually, it's where it's bouncing off now. But I would probably expect price to get down here somewhere. If we can get a bigger leg up, we may get 2 legs down then if we can get up here somewhere. So let's have a look. So channel in the NQ, 1 leg up, second leg incoming. Just check there's nothing there that's going to cause that to bounce any more than normal. So leg and a leg. There is a possibility it could bounce from a range for me. In fact, it may do. Let's see how that ends. Okay, possible second entry short on the NQ. So if that does turn into a short and comes down, that won't go any higher. That'll come down as well. But I don't think it's going to finish bearish. No, it's not. That one is, but for me, I wouldn't take that one because it's just too far for that EMA for me. But it may just come down. There is definitely some support along there. You can see it. We've got multiple touches around there, so it may bounce here. Okay, quick drop there. So lower high, it might be a nice option. So leg and a leg. Oh, there is a lower high there. That's actually quite nice. That is very tempting.
Order submitted.
I think I'll be daft to not to take that. Shit, it's just too big, isn't it? Let's see if we get a bit of a pullback. We're not going to. It's just going to drop. That's a shame. That was a lovely looking bar. Trouble is, there is some support there, so there's just not much room there. I was hoping we may get a bit of a pullback, but yeah, lovely looking bar there, but just no space, unfortunately.
Order cancelled.
Now, it's probably going to smash through here, but I'd always want to get out before that. And there just is no space for the lows. There's barely a point. Really lovely bar that. It's a damn shame we got all this here, because that is beautiful. That's about as nice as a second entry look, a lower high looks. We've got two really nice legs up. Probably off this bottom here, a bit of a bounce. There's probably going to be some longs in there, which is triggered. It's a shame that line wasn't a little bit further down here, because I'd have had a go at that. But it was rather big. Try to enter on the engulfing. Yeah, that was probably the better option, but it just came down that damn quick, didn't it? That's as nice as they look, really, lower highs, isn't it? Just exactly where you want it to be. It's always nice if it's trapping a bull bar. There's a failure there. There's going to be some longs probably off there, so I'd say this is probably going to go lower. But how do I feel about going short as after we bounced a third time? 1, 2, 3 is just a bit too dangerous. That's a real shame. That was really nice looking setup. Trouble is, it's about 4.25 point risk, which is a little on the large side. So yeah, the better option is to get that on either on a limit or take it on the engulfing, which is about there, and that would make it, yeah, you'd shave 1.5 points off there. So that's the option. But if I remember rightly, it just came down that quick. It didn't even give you a chance, I don't think. That's the trouble with Ninja Traders. Sometimes you've got to right click again, then find out where you want, and that all that takes a valuable second or so. I used to have, I've still got it somewhere, that one-click trader, but I accidentally clicked an order by accident. Now, we have got buy and sell orders, which I can hit, but they're right at the top corner out of the way, and it spooked me, so I ended up stopping to use it. But that was a really nice trade. And when it broke above there, you can see traders were selling there the way it pushed down. That's a shame, that is. We don't often get nice setups like that at the moment. In fact, there's been some lovely setups so far. That one I liked too. Really nice legs, confirming that. Came down beautifully. We had that one as well. You could probably call that a triple test. Another really nice lower high. Two clear legs up. Another nice lower high. A failure, which is pushing down. Doesn't Ninja Trade have hotkeys? I think you can set hotkeys up. The trouble is, it just worries me about accidentally hitting something. I kind of like the way you can't accidentally right click and slide down, so I kind of like the safety side of that. It's not many trades you miss, really. We've had some lovely setups so far since we've opened. Same again, another nice one. Not a massive amount of room, that's the thing, but I think it's likely it's going to come down. But while it's bouncing off there, the more times it bounces, it makes you nervous. But yeah, lovely, really nice lower high, failure, lower high, maybe a triple test, second entry short, well, visual second entry short. So we've had about 3. That one, I think, that one definitely. And that one, 3 really nice setups, 3/4. It's not often we get that. It really isn't. Sometimes, you know, when I'm finishing trading at the end of the day, I've got to search through to try and find things that I may like the look of. Another one I'd have taken as well, that one there, but it was I wasn't here at the time and it was a bit large. But same again, channel up. 2 legs of correction, came back and retest, pushed straight up, and a higher low. That one would have interested me. Excuse me a sec. Okay, just excuse me just for 1 minute. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh, we're getting some nice fluent moves today. Lower high, beautiful. Even that one. Failure. Trapping some longs going off this. So lovely. At least we're ranging with a bit of distance from the top to bottom. What is it? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. At least we're having a... at least there's some setups and it's moving in the range anyway. Okay, excuse me just for a quick minute. Sorry about that. Some parcels delivered. Okay. Second entry short. I'd rather wait for a lower high.
Order submitted.
See if we can get a lower high here. Come on, take a bite.
Order cancelled.
Just not a fan of that bar, really. Is it going to work? Possibly. Yeah, see, there is a possibility this could be a bit of a range, and this may just be a failed break out of it, and maybe not. Yeah, I just don't like that one. There's a few little tops there, little bottoms there, isn't there? There's 4 and a line there, which is making me a bit nervous. So I can get rid of that, I think, now. And that. Yeah, I just don't like the way this is bottoming 4 times there. Same again. Another nice looking setup there, which I missed. Leg, lower high. I think I didn't want to get out before the bottoms, but an absolute corker again. But not massive. I think it was not a massive amount of room to the lows, actually. I think the trouble is when you change your chart, you forget why you didn't get into something. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to get out before the lows, and in all fairness, it came down to the lows, broke a tick, and had a pullback, so it could have taken me out there. I think that's why I didn't get in that, in all honesty, so let's remove that. Leg and a leg. So we're getting some really nice, smooth moves, in all fairness. Not a lot of chop, pretty readable. Leg down, break, new low. 2 legs up, lower high, worked. Another attempt there, came back to the MA again, down again, break. Not a fantastic lower high. I prefer that to break up. Some people have taken there. I prefer it to break up and then end up bearish. I don't like the way those 4 bottoms in a line there. Concerns me that we may have a couple of legs and then down. Lower high there, great. That one, I think even 1, 2, 3, call that trouble. The trouble is there's no room to the lows really there, so I think that's the safer option. So it's really smooth. Nice channel up, fits nice. We had a break, a nice leg, 2 legs of correction, came down, retested the bottom again, pushed up, higher low there. So there's quite a few setups this morning, there really is. It's not often we get days like this where it's running really smooth. I mean, look at that yesterday. Push, chop, push, chop, push, chop. It's just choppy constantly. Sideways and choppy. But look at the difference today. It's so much smoother. I think we may just be having a lucky day, I think. So, touch, 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 break, new low. Now, what have we got down here? In fact, I think that was the close, wasn't it? And then we gapped up a little bit, just a touch, but then filled it quickly. So whether that's making a difference, why that bounced there or not, I don't know. There may be a bigger channel there. I don't think that's that bad. I don't often like moving them like that, but we got a touch. It's still touching 1, 2, 3, 4 times there, so I think that's okay. Leg and a leg. I just don't like the way we've come down to the bottom of this and we're struggling a bit here. So we can have a bit of a break. That's a bit risky, a short there for me. It may work. In fact, it looks even better on the NQ. Oh, there is a bit of a wick actually, so a leg and a leg. Just not sure this. We've come down and we haven't come down to the bottom, so I would suggest we may get a break. So a short there is a bit risky. Leg and a leg. Let me just check. One, two. So if you took that one, trigger just stopped you out. So let's have a look. 1, 2, maybe we get a triple test here. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's just a bit too low for me. It has touched the MA, just still a bit too low. Second entry short. I don't really want to go short that close to the lows. It ain't finished yet. It's probably going to finish at 3 points. And then you got to tick above, tick below. You ain't got that much room to the lows. Yeah, I'd rather have another go, really, to be fair. To be safe. It is a second entry short, lower high, but there's no room to the lows. And that's the bit. So it's what is it? It's 11 ticks, so it's 3 1/4 points. So I think that's a little bit on the risky side. Yeah, there's barely a point there, and that was right at the close. It may work, but it's just a bit too risky for me. I would prefer that body a lot closer and that wick pushing up. I don't think it's a very strong signal bar, so if we could move that up about a centimetre, then that wouldn't be too bad. But it may work. It'd be clearly relatively strong downtrend, but I think one attempt, second attempt. We've only had 2 attempts. I prefer another go. If we can have another go, then that would interest me. See if you got in 1 tick below there. Yeah, you get a point because it would have to push through. So there's just no room really. Just too risky for me. Might work. Sometimes they just do anyway. It's clearly moving down. Sometimes the downtrend just helps you out a bit, and it may do there. It's still playing it as a breaker, new low. Yeah, I'm a bit on the fence here. The reason I've put it there is because the NQ looks like it fits okay. Which is why I've put it like that. But I am aware, I have looked at the bottoms to see where it could bounce. So at the moment, I'm just trading it as just as a range. We've had this leg down, and we're making multiple attempts to push up. So I think it's going to break these lows anyway. Yeah, there was another attempt. It clearly worked. It's a bit risky for me there because you go in short 2/3 of the way down in this range, so it's extra risky there, but it is clearly pushing down strong anyway, so sometimes it just doesn't make a difference. But that to me was a bit risky. There was another go, but then we're already at the lows then, so that's also a no. It's just one of those things, isn't it? But yeah, it could be either or. I mean, you could have it like that, or you could open it up a bit. If you keep it tight to that one, you can sort of still get it to touch, you know. So I'm a bit on the fence here. I like the fact that they fit quite nice, and that does. So yes, sometimes it kind of works okay both ways. But how it's worked and continued down. See, now we've had a break on the NQ. So, see if you have that there like that. Then we've had a break and another leg down. I'm a bit on the fence either way. I mean, for me there, it was more about the range anyway. If we can get a third touch there, even if we have had a break and a new low, just the way we got a channel down there and we've had a break of it 1, 2, if we could get 3 touches up, pushed up here above all this and then finish bearish below that bar there, that for me would have been a no-brainer. Although that worked, it was just a bit too far from this top because you never know, it may trigger you and come up and have another go. Because really, that's the first attempt. That's not really, that's just on its way down. There's the first attempt. There's the second attempt. So that for me is not a third really. It's more or less a pullback on the way down after that second attempt. So I used to avoid triple tests. They can be really lucrative. Sometimes they're kind of hard to spot, but because they happen in quite small areas sometimes, and sometimes the congestion can mask them a little bit, but if you open them up, you can see them a little bit better. Anyway, let's see. Maybe we're having another go here. The fact that we've pushed down, I wouldn't want to take a short here. I'd rather give it a chance to sort itself out. So where are we on the scale of things? We're close to the bottoms here on the NQ. I mean, that's quite a strong push off there. What have we got down here? Anything that may bounce off? Not really. The crypto's taking another dive. 61,500. Well, this is the lowest we've been for a month. Well, from what I've seen so far, this is probably the best trading day for quite a while. It's just a shame I've only got one, but I'm alright with that. If I can get one a day, I'm more than happy with that. If I can get 3 winners a week without a loss, or 4 winners and 1 loss, if I can get up the equivalent of 3 trades a week, I'm alright with that. Happy with that. Yeah, the reason I'm not too worried about the break is I still think it's likely to come down a bit further. We're kind of here at the moment. Okay, lower high. Still not sure about this at the moment. It's still above the EMA and we've got this support here, so it could just trap some shorts, nick the EMA and push up again. So I'm sitting tight here. So whether we've had a break out of here or not, it's subjective really. Okay, so that's clearly worked. So maybe that's just a break and a new low, or attempting to make a new low. I'm just staying out at the moment. Okay, leg up, possible second entry long on the NQ. Another reason to stay out of that trade. I mean, it's a bit more clear on here anyway. We've this channel down. We've had a break and a new low. Whether you think we've had earlier or not, anyways, I think it's irrelevant now. But I would suggest looking at this. I think there's a fair chance that this is going to push up, certainly above that bar there and possibly that bar there. It may not, but we're very close to those lows, so whether it will come down another attempt anyway, but I would have said that lower high is likely to get stopped out because there's going to be some stops above there. I would have said so. So whether that one would hold or not, I don't know. That bar on the it's made enough points, I think, anyway, isn't it? So if you go a tick below it, you'd have got 2 points out of that comfortably. Or is this the triple test? Let me have a look. So once, twice, 3 times maybe. Maybe it is. I mean, it is a failure. But I just don't like this. It's a bit congested. Could trap some shorts there and push up and take out 1, 2 lots and possibly even 3 lots. Is it going to come up or down? I'm not so sure at the moment, really. But we got a channel up there that looks like 2 legs down, so it could go up or down here. Because looking at the NQ, we've had, whether you think we've had a break there, we may have done, but we've certainly had a break there anyway in a new low. So what we're going to do here, could go up or down here really. This could have, I'd say there's probably going to be shorts in there, no doubt about it. And if there are, there's going to be 1, 2 lots, maybe that lot, I don't know. I have a feeling now this is going to come down, certainly below this here. I think this is going to drop me here. So if you had taken that failure, if you'd have taken that fit, you'd have got your points anyway. Sorry, the lower high, you'd have got your points. What would you have got from that? Yeah, you'd have got 2 points. Yeah, you would have done. I'm not sure about this. Okay, folks, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, make a cup of tea. I'll let this sort itself out. So I will be 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, there is 2 legs up there. That is it going to work? Probably. Just don't like it. I don't really want to go long into this. Sorry, short into this. It could bounce. That could. Yeah, it looks like it might do. So channel down, 1 attempt to go higher. We could get another attempt, in which case there's going to be stops above there, I'd say. So this is probably going to push up. Unfortunately, I can't go long at the moment because we are coming down. The fact that it may push up is irrelevant, really. Nicholas, how are you, my friend? Long time no speak to. I thought you died and gone to heaven, mate. I haven't seen you for a long time. How you doing, pal? Are you well? Are you making money? How you getting on? How's your trading, bud? Definitely some setups today, that's for certain. And earlier on as well. That one I took, lower high. That one I don't think was that bad. At the time I left it because we're close to these lows. Doing good. Good for you, mate. 6 PAs working towards a payout. Good on you, mate. I'll keep you posted when it happens. Yeah, excellent. Good on you, mate. Good on you. It is a tough ride, isn't it? It is a tough ride. It's not easy. It does take time, but it's baby steps, isn't it? Continuously. Or if it doesn't happen, I'm sure it'll happen, mate. I'm sure it'll happen. 3 already this month. Reached 2 more today for payout. Good for you, mate. Good month for me. Yeah, good on you, mate. I like hearing people doing well. I love hearing the success stories. It just gives you hope, then, doesn't it? Yeah, good on you. Good on you. The chance to watch. Yes, I did, mate. Yes, I did. Let me have a look. Where was it again? It was about a week and a half ago, wasn't it? It was that guy talking, wasn't it? He comes over as a little bit dim, doesn't he? If I can say that, as a little bit. He's very sort of childlike, isn't he? When he's been interviewed, but some people have just got something about them, haven't they? That they can just switch something on or switch it. He almost comes over as very slightly autistic. I thought, and sometimes these little sort of quirks that people have make them a little bit, make them good at something. I think he's just one of these type of people that's naturally good at trading. But yeah, I did watch it, mate. Yeah, I watched it in 2 sections because it was about an hour and a half, I think, wasn't it, the interview? Yeah, he does come over as slightly autistic, and I think that's probably why. Mind you, if you look at who's the other guy that's what was his name? Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. What guy's video? I'll find it for you. It was an interview, actually. It was the guy I was thinking of that collapsed. Not collapsed the bank, did he? What was his name? He had Ashburgess. I can't get the words out. You know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. Asperger's, I think it was. Didn't he? I don't know, he collapsed something, didn't he? Did he collapse some market from his bedroom in Birmingham in the UK? It's WhatsApp you sent it, wasn't it? Will it be on my history in YouTube? It might do, but it was a couple of weeks ago. I don't think I can get. What's it here? See if I can find it. Yeah, it was an interview with a guy. That's my history. It was about 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago, so. I watched it over a couple of days. I watched it, started one evening, but I fell asleep, and it was about an hour and a half long, wasn't it? So. See if I can find it back here somewhere. Yeah, that was it. How this 20-year-old, yeah. Got it. Yeah, that's it there. That's it there if anybody's interested. Yeah, he comes over. That's the guy there. He comes over as slightly. He's, I don't know, childlike, maybe a little bit autistic. But it's really interesting. Yeah, it's about an hour and 26 minutes, but definitely worth a watch. He does come over as a little bit. I don't know. Watch it, see what you think. But yeah, he's kind of awkward, isn't he? Talking. Yeah, have a look. Definitely worth a. How this 20-year-old made 200k scalping the Nasdaq 100 from prop firms. Definitely worth a watch. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we did come back and have another go. That looks to me like a penguin style trade. Channel down. One attempt to go higher. Second attempt to go higher. Fail. Just love his mentality. I know he does it. Yeah. He just strikes me as he's got one of those minds unlike the norm, if you like, and it works, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Which is I've been having a few issues. I've had to sort of change things up a bit. So I've actually, I did it the weekend with my wife. Went through a bit of a plan to follow now, like a business. And yeah, one thing I've put in this as well. Remember, this is now to be treated as a business. I think I've had. I mentioned yesterday. I think I've had my learning stroke experimental hat on, where I do stupid, when we're learning, we do stupid things, but I think I know enough, or I can trade well enough now to be able to build account and make money. So I now want to remove that hat and put my business hat on and start making better decisions. For me, 95% of my balls ups, shall we say, happen outside normal trading hours when I come back later in the evening. So I've set myself rules now where my trading time is between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. UK time. Now, I usually stream from 2:30, so that gives me an extra 30 minutes just to do my checks and so on. But after 6 o'clock, it gets shut down. I've even set my streams now for the week ahead, so there's no reason to come back to the computer, so it gets turned off and shut down, and I don't come back now until 2 o'clock the following day. So I've set myself a few rules, only 4, nothing major, not a whole host of them, but just enough to start, building a little bit of self-discipline. Because my emotions now, when I take a loss, have gone. It happened about three and a half weeks ago when I decided to buy that Guardian Angel trader. All of a sudden, I started to relax trading, and I managed to walk away after losses, although I didn't buy that bit of software. So that's gone away. So I just need to now tie up the silliness, really. That's a slight sort of immature side of me that just takes stupid risks because he thinks he might get a little head start. I need to start playing the game and just following the rules and staying away from the let's try and see if I can get a couple of extra points here and be a bit lucky type of attitude, which I've definitely had from time to time. So there is what is likely a bottom there. So if we are ranging, which we may do, if we continue to push up, we may just start doing this very similar to yesterday, but at least we are moving quite fluently. There's definitely a few setups. There was one there. Nice channel up, 2 legs of correction, came back and retested again, push up, nice high and low. That one I took, clearly a channel, although I wasn't aware of that at the time. For me, it was more about more like a bull flag, a leg sideways in a leg, and not only that, it was like a failed break out the range. So 2 nice legs up, and that worked beautifully. That one you may have took as a triple test. That one there, I don't think that was that bad. I left it because there wasn't a lot of room, but that one there, at the time, I left it because I had possibly the bottom of a range here, but that was another nice trade. And there again, maybe even that one. So there was definitely some setups. You see the news on that prop firm he's using. Shut down all operations. Yeah, didn't it say they were hoping to get back up and running? Is that the one? Because there was another one, wasn't there, that shut down maybe a few weeks ago. I'm pretty sure it said hoping to get back. I'm sure I saw a video. What they called something. What they called. Made a new video about the firm saying he can't stand them. I'm going to use them. This can build. Firm saying he can't. Yeah, strange. Arman, is that the guy from Dubai, is it? I'm thinking of someone different. No, I'm thinking of someone different, aren't I? Yeah, I'm thinking of something different. Yeah, let's bloody hope so, mate. We spend all this time and money. Is the guy in the video? Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, I see. I got you. Yeah, Apex strike me as they're very popular, aren't they? I think if you're going to be involved with one, I think they're tried and tested. They've been around for a while, so well, I mean, there are no guarantees. That's the thing. But it would be a shame because let's face it, how many of us have got this type of money? I mean, even if you want to make like $2,000 or $3,000 per month, you need a fair old chunk of change to be able to trade with. So we're lucky in the sense that we've got prop firms. Otherwise, most of us would be knackered. We wouldn't have the financial backing to be able to trade our own accounts. Certainly enough to make anywhere near the amount of money you can make with Apex. I mean, you have 3 accounts with Apex, and you make $2,000. It's $6,000 a month. To make that sort of money, you'd need a fair old chunk of change in your own account. So we're lucky in a way, I hope. I mean, there are going to be people that are complaining about these prop firms, that they're gambling, they're this, that, and the other. And I think, from what I can gather, they are starting to bring in some rules and regulations, because I don't think they're regulated at the moment in any way different than regulated by normal business. But obviously, people like bookies, online bookmakers and that, they're sort of regulated to help protect people. So I'm guessing there are going to be more regulations coming in, and that is probably going to squeeze their sort of financial purse strings a little bit. And I just hope they stay around because, they are enabling people to make money. I mean, they are a business, and obviously their main model is to make money. But I hope they do hang around. It'd be a damn shame to see a lot of them fade into the woodwork. I can't see it myself. Okay, there is a second entry short that I don't like. That wicket's a bit congested, and after we've bounced here, we could trap some shorts and push higher. So I'm staying out of that just at the minute. Yeah, no, I mean, I've been trading max style now. Next month will be 3 years, and I'm just getting to the stage now where I can start to build an account, and I'm just tying up loose ends, really, just that little bit of silliness. And it'd be a damn shame when you get to that level and start to build an account and some of these prop firms start to disappear before I've had a chunk of their money. But what I will say is, when I first started trading with a guy called Andrew Lockwood, he told me, focus on your trades, and when you get the trading right, the money will follow you, I guarantee. So once you can trade and you've got a bit of a track record of consistency, you'll obviously have a lot of confidence and a lot of belief in yourself. Then getting finances is a little bit easier, but you have to have a little bit of a track record and at least belief and confidence in yourself. Trades well, Matt has pulled 120. Is he really? I know Alpine's doing well as well, isn't he? He's had, I think he's had about the same in the last few months. It's just a shame he doesn't show anybody his strategy. He thinks Apex are going to penalise him in some way. I don't know why. If he's traded the markets and making on average 40 grand a month, well, doesn't matter how he's doing it. If it's working, it's working. I'm surprised he has so many followers, to be honest with you, because I've seen so many people ask him, how do you trade? And he just won't tell them. So you tend to think people would think, well, what's the point in being here? That ATR is still high today. Trades by Matt. Yeah, I have seen him. Who's the other guy? There's another guy I've been talking to once in a while. I have chatted to Joe, Trader Joe, a couple of times, just by Facebook. He's another nice guy. Teacher, I believe he was initially. Teacher. Sam, how you doing, my mate? How are you getting on today? Taking any trades, bud? I'll tell you what. Let me have a look. Oh, yeah, you have. 1, 2 or 3. 2, haven't you? 2. Yeah, that was that one. That was a good setup as well. And that one there, yeah, I ummed and ahed about that one. I'd have preferred that to be a little bit more bearish. I think what put me off was those 4 all bottom there. I was a bit concerned there, but it did work. But that was a nice setup, that was, mate. I had it more of a range at the time, and I had the range bottoms. Did I have it here or something? I was thinking about. I think I had that through that. There seemed to be some support there. So I was more. It just concerned me, that one, because I think it was quite a big bar, wasn't it? And I was concerned. I wanted to be out for the lows, but obviously now we know it did this. You know what I mean? So, hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? But there's definitely some setups today, yeah, for sure. You took that one. Yeah. Now I saw this. The trouble is, sometimes I've gone from being a bit careless to being a bit overcautious, and I tend to, if price is coming down, I tend to think where it may stop, and I think sometimes it adversely affects me. Now you can clearly see there's some support there, but I never really see Mac doing that as much, so that's what got me out of this trade. My concern was, I think at the time I'd had something like this. That was the bottom, and I was concerned 2 legs down. This was going to be a bit of a failed breakout, may trap some, so I left it. But I think if I'd have not had that there, then, well, it looks great now, doesn't it? You're going to say, yeah, sometimes I think all this little bit of extra, maybe I think I probably overcomplicate it for myself. I suppose it's part of the process. Sometimes you just, I've tend to gone from being careless to probably being a bit too overcautious, and I think, you know, with time I'll probably find some middle ground, you know, some. But seeing that there, I mean, we got this leg down, 2 legs of correction, back to the EMA prices. You know, the EMA is always clearly holding prices, trapping some longs there. There's going to be some longs there off this bottom for sure. And I mean, look at that. Another leg down. It worked beautifully. But yeah, sometimes it's all part of it. It's about finding some balance, isn't it? But sometimes you've just got to take the trades. But I ummed and ahed about that one. Some of these ones I wish I'd have taken. I wish I'd have taken that one. That I was a bit on the fence about that. That I don't mind leaving, although it was quite a small risk, but it just bothered me that we had 4 touches there. But, you know, it's clearly pushing down. So, you know, we're up at the EMA, aren't we? And the top of the price channel. So chances are it's going to go down anyway. So I looked at something there as well, 2 legs back. There was a lower high there, which I kind of liked, and it worked. But the trouble is, we're so close to these lows. Now, if I was scalping a point, then maybe I wouldn't be so concerned about it. But my worry was we were going to trigger it and come up and have a triple test and then push down some more. But the more you do this, the more you realise how complicated it is, how many sort of millions of little decisions your brain is making as it's reading this price. And, you know, like Max says, it's a real skill that takes years to sort of just to get better at it. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'd rather now be on the side of being a little bit more overcautious than being careless. You know, and I think we tend to visit all these areas, don't they? Careless, damn right, ridiculous, overcautious. But, you know, I think with time, it's about finding some sort of middle ground, isn't it? I know you mentioned Merck sometimes. He used to talk a lot about traps. Yeah, he did, didn't he? One or two tricks above signal bars and out of it. Yeah. More, yeah, he talked a lot about that. I believe he was deployed, wasn't he? I think he came back on leave at some point, and he messaged me, and I think he was away with the military somewhere. But yeah, that's what he looked for traps, didn't he? He would take where traps would be. So I don't tend to take traps. I mean, I'm better at finding them now because, well, once you get caught in them enough times, you start to realise where they are, don't they? But yeah, I think as you just progress as a trader, the more you do this, you'll just keep adding extra strings to your bow, won't you? Extra little skills. There was a setup I started to notice a couple of months ago, and someone said it's one of Al Brooks's setups. And what I noticed in these, what I class as double, what do you say, sort of like double channels. This I call a single channel. This I call a double channel. And what I noticed is when we get into this sort of size channel, that type of thing, whenever we tend to get a bullish bar in a downtrend, it crosses over and comes down. Same again there, bullish bar crosses straight over and comes down. Same there, bullish bar crosses straight over. It went up a couple of ticks, but it came down. And I started to notice this and all that really is a little bit of a pullback. Occasionally, it'll tick above it, and I see that as triggering along and then coming down. So whenever we get these, and if you look there, if you just shorted that, if you went, so I think I had a setup down as 8 and 8. So 8 ticks risk, 8 ticks profit. So if you, where's that? 8 ticks. So if you shorted that, the second that bar closed, went up a couple of ticks, came back down, you got your point there. So there's once it's happened. Now, if you did exactly the same thing again there, shorted that, the second that bullish bar closes, crosses straight over, within a second or so, you're now up, well, 8 ticks, I think I had it. Yeah, 8 ticks. Straight away, you're up 8 ticks. So you're up 2 points there, 2 points there. And there was another one down there, same there. 8 tick stop, 8 tick profit. It crossed over, went up a couple of ticks, came straight back down. So 1, 2, 3 just in that channel. So there's $600 worth of profit. And as long as you do it 1-to-1, you've only got to get it really 60% of the time to make money. So I'm just going back over the charts at the end of the day and picking off these. But there's 3 just in that section there. But that's about the width of the... Yeah, a lot of cases, see, we'll have this push down and people will jump in to go long. But I noticed this all the time. I looked at a chart the other day and there was about 15, and I think they all work bar 1. So what I call a double channel, this, the slightly thick, this type of thing, this is a perfect example. So that type of thing there, look, so if you add that channel drawn, so now I would say it's got to be a bullish bar. So that's a bullish bar. What happens? It crosses straight over, ticks, it comes straight down. You're in and out of that trade in a few seconds. Same again, that one there, that pushed up. Now, if you shorted that the second that closed, there's your stop, and you're out. You're out of there before that bar's even finished. Same again, it worked there, it worked there, and it worked there. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. It worked 5 times just in that there. But the thing is, the more you sit and look at these, you'll start to notice something. And someone said, I think someone had done the Al Brooks course, and it's one of his setups. But if you sit and watch market enough times, you'll start to just notice things, won't you? But, you know, whenever we seem to get a pullback, and it's always quite a strong bullish bar. That one I wouldn't, although it would have worked. That one worked, that one worked. But look exactly what happened. It crossed straight over and went down. That went up a tick. It crossed straight over, went up a few ticks, came straight down. That one came straight over and straight down. That one, few ticks, came straight down. That one crossed straight over, came down, pulled back a bit, but continued down. So 4 times just in that little area, you'd have made money. So I'm just noting these, making mental notes of them, how many there is in a day. Same again there, crossed over, came down, crossed over, came down, crossed over, came down. So what I say is a double channel. That to me is a single channel. Double. So it's enough for a couple of 3 bars, but something like that. But look how easy that worked. 1, 2, 3 times perfectly. 4 times on the other downtrend. So we haven't really had much in the way of today, to be honest with you. Nothing really. This is a bit too wide. But having said that, look at that. Crossed straight over, pushed up. And whenever it does that, you always get in and out within that same, but within that 1 bar. So it's a 1-to-1. It's a 1-to-1. So if you just keep it at 8 ticks profit and 8 ticks stop, you know, you've only got to win 6 times to be up. 6 times out of 10. You know, I'm reckoning that's going to be working 8 times out of 10. I would have said so. There's a failure there. It has come back a little bit. I would have said that is coming down. Trouble is, it's a big ass bar. There's also a failure on the NQ, and that looks like it is coming down, but it's a bit big there. But I think you can. Oh, it's massive. Look at that. You can never have enough extra skills, can't you? And, you know, sometimes when, you know, I mean, you can have another, I've got another chart up here, which I'm doing on here. Another 2000 tick chart with a sim, but I've just opened up Sam's YouTube channel, so I've been covering it, but I've got it there, 8 and 8. 8 tick stop, 8 tick profit. And I'm just practicing it on a sim, but I mean, you've seen it work 3 times in one little downtrend. So it's potentially really lucrative. But yeah, I mean, the more times you sit and watch these charts, and let's face it, half the time we know where setups are coming, and we've obviously got a little bit of free time, so it's you tend to notice these things. There's a channel there as well. So look at that. It happened there. I prefer it when the bearish bar, though, closes close to its lows, so you probably wouldn't work there. But yeah, I agree with your point. After I have started learning Al Brooks, I started getting more setups. Well, I used to get with Mac, yeah. I mean, I'll certainly keep Mac setups. You know, I've been doing those for 3 years now, so I know how they work. And it's obviously applying them to the correct context of the market. But any strategy, learning the actual, you could show someone what a second entry is in 2 minutes. But the real art is applying it to the correct context of the market. And that will go exactly the same for any setup. You know, you can't just take a certain setup that's a pattern. You know, second entry long in a downtrend is useless. You know, you've got to apply it. But the more you sit here, you'll start to pick up extra little setups and your own sort of portfolio of setups. You'll just organically do that. You can't really help it. And you know, I think the more little extra setups and the little extra notches you have in your belt will just, you know, keep you consistent. Because, you know, markets change, and as we know, setups with Mac's system have been a little bit thin lately. There's not been a huge amount of them, although obviously today is an exception. Yeah, you take it easy, bud. That's me done. Yeah, I don't blame you, mate. 2 nice trades. Good on you, bud. But yeah, I think you just naturally develop as a trader. You'll just find your own way and your own setups. You know, I speak to you guys all the time, and half of you started with Max and you'd add little extras and do something different. But Mac did say to me once, he said it's perfectly natural as a trader to develop your own style. But what I just showed you there, that they really are lucrative. There's not been a lot of them today. It's a certain size channel, that type of size really. But look, they are just there. Once you get that, once it starts to sideways and comes down a little bit thicker, you just short there, short there, short there. 2-point risk, 2-point profit. 3 beautiful trades there. You're up $600 in about 3 minutes. But it's when it finishes really bullish. In other words, it's just a pullback, isn't it? A pullback there, pullback there, pullback there. It works even better and comes down quicker if it triggers. But that one took a bit of time. But look at that one, crossed over. You've been in and out that trade before that bar closed. Exactly the same there. So there must be a bigger channel there. Have a look. Maybe there is. The trouble is at the moment, because we bounced there, you don't know whether we're just going to have a couple of attempts to go lower and then push back up more into the thick of the range. I started with Mac and still take really clean Pat's entries, but I mostly take longs or shorts off pivots where price will do. Absolutely. Because you've figured out what prices are doing. Once you start to learn what price does when it hits areas, and you see it happen enough, you'll naturally start to go, well, I'm seeing that happening every day, and you'll start to take the trend. You know, you can't help but do that, and that's just that. You know, that's what happens as you just get more and more experience. That's one thing I'm noticing. Al Brooks buys a strong 5-minute bear bar at the bottom of a range. I did this today and made 15. I mean, look at that, 15 points. Christ, I haven't made 15 points in the last 2 weeks. It's exactly what I just said there, Bob. Yeah, whether it's 5 minutes or 2,000 ticks or 1 minute, whenever you get that type of thickness of you know, you short there, work perfectly. Short there on those pullbacks, work perfectly. I mean, look at that every time, 3 times in a row. And when you get that type of thickness of trade, of channel, it really does work. Same again there. Any of those bars there, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, or that one, if you shorted at the close of that green bar, 8-tick stop, 8-tick profit, you'd have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades just in that little section. And that type of thickness, it works perfect. Thickness, if that's a word. That type of, you know. But yeah, this is what I consider a single channel, or a short-term trend channel maybe, but yeah, they're slightly thicker ones. Same again there. It started to work in there, didn't it? That one there, if you went long there, worked perfectly and really quickly. So it's just something to look for. But you know, looking at people like Al Brooks is always useful, because you can always learn things from people like that. People like that always want to be on your radar, because you know, the longer you've been trading these charts, the better you get at reading them. I mean, he buys a vacuum test of bottom. A vacuum test. bottom of trade range, a vacuum test. I'm not sure. I've not heard that term before, bud. You might have to fill me in there, Bob. Bear bar at the bottom of a trading range. I did this today and made 15 points. Yeah, there's so many ways to make money, isn't there, in the markets? Vacuum test strong. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, strong bear bar, yeah. So strong bear bar at the bottom of a range. So you mean slots sucking shorts in and then all of a sudden pushes off? So you're on about something like that, Bob, are you? You're on about buying somewhere down there? Sorry about that. Open 5 minutes. And oh, yeah, I got you. On the ES, yeah? So you're on about here, are you? Yeah. So you're on about just buying the clothes or buy... Well, yeah, I suppose you don't know where it's going to go, do you? You're on about buying that. Vacuum, I've not heard that term before. As in it sucks back up or something, is that what it is? I have been looking at the 5 minute by the close, yeah. I have been looking at the 5 minutes, the 5 minute. Yeah, there's so many. I think he's definitely worth. I've seen a couple of his videos on YouTube, but I've not done any of his course or anything like that. I've seen little bits of him, but you've really got to make sure you've drunk a lot of coffee, haven't you? Otherwise, he's got that natural ability to put you to sleep, but he's definitely very good at what he does. So you'd be a fool not to pay attention to him, really, wouldn't you? So, is this a bigger channel? I'm not so sure. At the moment, price is below the EMA, so buying a higher low like that. Are we coming down some more? Maybe a second entry short there. At the moment, price isn't getting above that EMA, is it? Or certainly not closing above it. There is a lower high there, but it's a bit far from that EMA for me. And by the time that finishes, there ain't much room to the bottom. So if it gets down to here, it ain't finished yet either, so it could get a bit lower than that. Let's see how it came back and tested 1554. 1554. What chart you on about there, bud? Trying to enter a few ticks down. 1554. Profit 2000 tick. Yeah, see, I'm on it here. 1554. You mean 1584? I think you're 1584, aren't you? I think. Bounce above the break. Yeah, about come back and test it out there. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, here. Okay, I got you. I was looking up here thinking, that's why 1554 threw me. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Trade. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways, isn't there, to make money? It's mind-boggling, isn't it, really? Okay, leg and a leg. That's quite interesting. Enter on the limit, 5080. Yeah, I got you. Okay. ATRs, it's still above 3, isn't it? Now, channel, 2 legs up. I'd say that's likely to come down. Trouble is, it's a big bar. Was it 19 ticks? Tick above, tick below. It's just too rich for my blood, that is. It's probably going to work for a couple of points well out towards the bottom. Trouble is, you never quite know if it's going to just turn tail. It's pretty bearish, that is, anyway. We've clearly had 2 legs up, so I'd say that's going to work for a couple of points. I'll be surprised if it doesn't. We're clearly working down anyway. We're coming down. Price is broken above it, but then it's triggered above and come down bearish. It's just too big a bar for me, that. Yeah, it worked for 2 points. I thought it might do, but I'm just not risking 4 points. Let's have a look. Especially when I'm up a trade anyway, so it's more than 4 points. I mean, tick above, tick below, it's 5 points. I'm not risking $500 per account. I'll lose that trade. That's $1,500. It's just too much, that is. I'll draw the line at 5 points. Then a bit of time where I'll have just jumped in. There's a good example of how nice. Yeah. You do get very familiar with what price does after a while, don't you? You start to get more and more, and what I find is you start to get that feeling that something doesn't feel right, and the only way I can describe that is over the 3 years I've been trading, Pat, I'm glued to this chart. So if I'm looking for a lower high here or something like that, I'm glued to that. I've got a vested interest in this because I've got cash on this. I've got risk on it, and I've got emotions tied into this image. So I'm looking at this image, and when I take a trade and it goes wrong, that image just doesn't, you've got an attachment to that now. It's a picture with a story, and that picture stays in your brain. And we all know the brain's capable of billions of different bits of information and that. And when you've seen that type of picture and that setup and it's gone wrong a few times, it stays in your head. And after a while, when you lose those trades, you learn to stay away from them. And sometimes if the picture's similar but slightly different, it's almost like you're visiting we've all done it, haven't we? We've driven through a town or a city 5 years ago just once, and you happen to go through that place again and something's familiar and you know where something is. So we've got a real vested interest in a setup, and when they go wrong, you tend to log them in your memory bank of bad experiences. So whenever their situation arises again, something for me, I just get that feeling I don't like something about this. And I would say 7 or 8 times out of 10 that I have that feeling and I stay out, it would have gone against me. So that's, what Matt goes on about. It takes time to understand the markets, to be able to read price. It's building up those memory banks of setups and pictures and all this sort of thing. And it's a kind of nice when it does that, because it's that old familiar feeling that something doesn't feel good. So a lot of the times now when I see a setup, I don't necessarily have to start counting legs and working out this. I just tend to look at it and go, yes, I like it, or no, I don't. And I think that just comes in time, doesn't it? So I'm getting to that level now where, I'm getting more and more comfortable with what this is doing. I mean, you still have those days where you have a loss, and it's weird. You get 3, 4, 5 losses, 5 wins in a row, and you feel confident. You're full of belief in yourself. You feel like you can't get anything wrong, and then you get a loss or two, and it's amazing how that sort of comfortable, confident feeling just starts to dwindle quickly. But I'm assuming with time, when you're consistent, you're making regular money, when you do have a loss, you're pretty much going to know it's just part and parcel of it, and it's just not worth stressing about. But it's just going to take time to get to that level, isn't it? But I do feel familiar now. I don't feel like I'm out with a complete stranger, if you know what I mean. We still have those days where price is just unpredictable and it bounces a lot, and then we got other days today where it just does what it's supposed to. You know what I mean? Break of a channel, came straight down. We got a channel here, a couple of attempts to go higher, dropped like a stone. So price is playing the game today. It's bouncing where it should. The high lows, this higher lows. We got, a break of a channel, 2 nice legs down, a retest. That. So price is playing a good game today. But other times it's unpredictable, and it sort of teases you and sucks you in, and it looks for those weak positions and takes them out. So, but I kind of like it. I'm at a nice level of trading where I'm enjoying my trading now. I still get bored and frustrated from time to time, when price is slow and it just doesn't go anywhere. A problem with confidence that trades. Yeah, I think that'll just start to dwindle with time. Once you get consistent and you start to make regular money, I'm guessing it becomes like any other job. You just do it, you do your job at work, and sometimes you might drop something or cock something up. You just chuck it away and start again. We're not perfect. We don't get everything right every time, all of the time, no matter what you do in life. But it does take time. And I kind of like that. If you can get to the stage where you're earning money, as far as I'm concerned, you're pretty special. You've got a unique skill there that very few people can do. But, you have to keep coming through all the punishment and all the misery to get there. But when you're earning decent money, as far as I'm concerned, you deserve it more than these guys working in these big banks. They've got all the skills, they've got all the experienced people working for them, all the tools and all the structure. We've had to sort of figure it all out off our own back, so I think we deserve it more than anybody. So 62.50 daily gap closed. I still don't understand the concept of gaps. I understand it when the market gaps, but people say we got a gap at so and so. It's just something I've never paid much attention to. And for the life, sometimes there's gaps in your learning, excuse the pun, but I got no idea really what a gap is apart from where the market gaps here. But people say we've got to fill a gap down here. It doesn't make any sense to me. So either someone's going to have to explain it or I'm going to have to look into it. So that trade actually worked a beaut, didn't it? We're clearly working down 2 nice. I mean, this is a day when the market's playing ball, isn't it? 2 nice legs up, nice big bearish bar, and look at it go. It came down 20 points. Not 20 points, sorry, 10 points and the rest. Look at that, one after another. Even if you followed each bar down there. Question to all: is everyone day trading full time? I'm just learning whilst at the day job. Yeah, whatever you do, mate, stay at your day job. I was trading for a month and jacked my job in. Put £5,000 of my own money and then lost it all. Yeah, it takes time. This, I would say, if someone asked me how long does it take to do this, I would say you're looking at a few years before you start to make things work. I would say so. Doing it 3 to 5 hours a day and extra study time. It is hard and it does take time, but if you're willing to commit to it and just keep trying and keep studying, you will get better at it, like everything in life. But the unique thing with trading is it's got the added, well, I was going to say bonus there, but I don't think it's a bonus. It's got the added psychological effect as well, which makes learning it a bit harder. Just learned about our petrol going up 14 cents. That is a lot. I'll tell you what, mate. Going back to COVID, we were paying over £2 a litre in the UK. That's about $2.60. So you guys over that part of the world have big sort of gas guzzling motors. We just can't afford them over here because they just... What am I paying at the moment? What did I pay a couple of days ago? About £1.50 for a litre, which is about $1.90 for a litre. I'm pretty sure I heard on the news we've got a drop in inflation in the UK. So hopefully our price, our stuff is coming down, but 14 cents, yeah. Yeah, we've always got stitched by something. You see, yeah, for instance, you guys make a lot of your own stuff over in places. I mean, you're Canada, yeah, but that part of the world, you make a lot of, you know, you guys are big into US made, and that's the way it should be, but we import so much of our stuff. And just to give you an example, I've got a Vitamix downstairs, which I bought a few years ago. I bought that Vitamix 3 years ago, and it cost me £470, which is about $650. I believe you guys can get that at a third of that price, or less than half, shall we say. Things like cameras as well. I used to be in photography. Canon cameras, I always found out they were so much cheaper in the US. You know, you go to places, not that I've ever been there, New York, and you buy stuff off the streets and you'll get food. You get it, you know, it's mad, isn't it? You get stuff like, I was watching a program and I think it was about $2 for a hot dog. If you go into a city like London, you'll pay £6 for a hot dog. We just tend to get ripped off over it and we never do anything about it. You guys don't take any shit. But we pay through the nose here. I mean, you look at house prices over here, they're horrendous. The house I live in, value-wise, I rent it, but value-wise, it's a small 3-bedroom semi-detached house. There's no garage and a small garden. That's about $240,000, which is just under £250,000. You're talking about $330,000. My garden's the size of a squash court, if you guys know what a squash court is. It's small. House prices over here are horrendous. Yeah, I remember London. It's expensive. Like, yeah, it is great. Yeah, but they just, I don't know. Yeah, you US guys just don't put up with it. We tend to bend over and take it. We do. But oh yeah, you go to London. You got the vendors on the street. You pay £6 for a hot dog, and you'll get some mashed up piece of paste and a little bit of dry bread with a blob of sauce on it. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Its house prices is the worst thing over here, and everything in the US is bigger. Houses are bigger, gardens are bigger, pizzas are bigger. I was paying £1 per litre in 2017. Now I would double that. Per litre 2017, 33 pence. No, let me think. 2017, No, 80, 90 pence a litre, I'm thinking. Somewhere around about that. I remember going back about 15 years ago, they had big fuel strikes over here because price had gone over £1. There was farmers with tractors and that clogging up motorways, and they're outside the oil refineries blocking them all. Folks are big, yeah, they are. That's the trouble, isn't it? Portion sizes have gone up, and people's sizes have gone up as well. 150 a gallon. It's during the fracking boom. Right, yeah. So where are you from then, bud? Where are you from? Where are you from? You've told me before. I've seen you before. I recognise you. Your picture. But yeah, prices have just been horrendous. I mean, I do, one of my, I say specialities, one of the things I like to cook is paella, North Carolina. Okay, yeah, I remember. I tend to make quite a bit of paella, chicken, rice and all that sort of stuff. And I was buying a 500 gram box of paella for about 90 pence a few years ago, £2.70 now. So just prices have just gone horrendous. Now we're all right, we can afford stuff. We're not broke or anything like that, but single parents and stuff like that are really struggling. How the hell? I mean, if I go out and buy, if I buy food now to make like a spaghetti bolognese or something like that, realistically, you're talking about £10 for a meal for 3. So how these single mums and stuff, these sort of people are a little bit poorer off. How the hell they're managing, I've got no idea. I know we got lots of food banks in the UK because just people have been struggling. The bills as well. I think, was it around just after COVID? I think we were paying about £650 per month for our gas and electric. £650 a month. They're around about £275 a month now for both. Stuff's just gone crazy, but I know you in the US you've got rate cuts, haven't you, this year? But we've had a drop in inflation. I can't remember, I heard it briefly on the news when I was driving home from the shops earlier. But that should, I think we're aiming in that, well, I think everyone's aiming, but it just goes to show all this really has been stemmed from COVID. The thing is, you think about how much the government spent in COVID. I know, if I remember rightly, it was about the 26th of March. I remember Boris Johnson coming on the TV and saying, I'm giving you one order only, stay at home. And I think 3/4 of the country stayed at home and the government paid them 80% of their wages. So there was no tax coming in because people weren't earning and the government were giving them 80%. So you think how much money there was injected into the UK, and then there was obviously all the PPE and all the extra staff and all the extra buildings and extra ambulances. I'm surprised, countries weren't completely bankrupt and crippled by COVID. But it's taken us this long, really, just to almost get back to normal. We bought a 3-bed terrace house in Nottingham, mortgage fixed at 12. Christ almighty, that's a lot of money in it. £1,200 a month. Good grief. My last mortgage, when mortgage prices went up around about 2005, ours went up from 600 to 900. I thought that was bad. But it's crazy, isn't it? House prices, we get stuffed over here, don't we? You look at house price in the UK, you could fit our house and garden just into your backyard. I know a lot of there are a lot more timber frame buildings out there, which I'm assuming are a bit cheaper to knock up. Although we are getting very much timber framed over here now. But I went down to Winchester to visit my sister over the Easter weekend, and an average 3-bedroom house there with a garage is around about £800,000. It's flipping horrendous. It really is. My sister lives down there, can't afford, they have to rent, they can't afford mortgage. Absolute crazy. Absolute crazy. Yeah, you guys are luckier in the... Well, I say that just based on food and housing and car and fuel and stuff, but You know, you never quite know until you live in these some countries, do you? But you know, in face value, you look like you get ripped off a lot less than we do over here. Put it that way. And you guys just don't put up with stuff. If you're not happy about it, you make yourself known. We're just too quiet and conservative over here. I think you're right, mate. I think you're right. There's more and more people on the earth, isn't there, every year? Sooner or later, houses are going to have to get smaller. Renters otherwise. Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? It's crazy. I don't know what the answer is. I'll tell you something, thinking about it, we've had some quite pushes down, haven't we? I mean, this is one hell of a pullback. Let's have a look on the daily. Yeah, it is. See, we've been moving up ever since, well, I think that wasn't that the tail end of COVID, was it? And then prices seem to, but we are getting a pullback. Be interesting to see how far we get down. I thought we may bounce here initially, and then we've come down to this sort of next area. But we've come down from the highs around about nearly 270 points. In fact, the ATR hasn't been down below 3, is it? In fact, you know what? I'm going to finish early today. I usually do 3 hours, but I'm up me 200 for the day over me 3 accounts. So I'm up $600 for the day. I'm definitely pleased with how today's panned out a bit. It's a lot more readable. There's definitely some setups. There was one there, one I took there, another nice lower high, another nice lower high. Very predictable. There was something else as well, wasn't there? Was it? Oh, that one there as well. Trouble is, it was 5-point risk. We're clearly coming down. 2 nice legs up there, trapping some longs, and down it came. But I just can't, in all good conscience, risk 5 points. That's $1,500 over my 3 accounts on one trade if it does go tits up. And let's face it, there is a little bit of support around there. It could stitch you up and come to here. If that had been a little bit later, I mean, you wouldn't have even got there on a limit order. Tonight, yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's a lot more readable today, a lot less chop, and it's moving. Today reminds me of how it was about 2.5 years ago. You know, lots of setups. Christ, Matt's going to have a field day with this, isn't he? He's going to have hundreds of setups. Or is he? No, I think he's finished today, Mac, isn't he? Is he here today or back? I think he's away. Isn't he going on a Caribbean cruise or something? I think he is. Yeah, you too, Chris. You too, bud. So yeah, I'm going to finish early, I think. It's nice to finish early sometimes. I've done what I wanted to do today. I'm up 2 trades for the week so far. So far, so good. There has been a few more. That's the first time that's... Oh, no, it's gone back up. So that is me done for the day. So I appreciate all your comments. If you're carrying on trading, best of luck. And I'll be back same time tomorrow and we'll do it all over again. Hopefully a good day again. So have a great day. Take it easy and I'll see you tomorrow.